Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to our masterclass number 16. Uh, another month, another masterclass, and today we changed it to a new X one. And we are going to talk about how to create personas in the Agile world. Today we have Jose Barros with us. It is one of our best UX designers at High Interactive. Hi, Jose, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. About you?
I am fine. I am fine. Thanks, Jose. Today we are going to give a presentation on how to create personas. I will advise you to check the article that Jose has wrote, and it is in the description of this video. It is a full guide for this presentation, and it is the best guide for you to continue listening to this presentation and having it and reading it. It will be more insightful for you, as I may say. And without further to add, let's get to the index and to see how this presentation will go. Um, we are going to talk about what are proto personas. Jose is going to, and how to create them in every step of the way, in a very detailed way. To After this presentation, you'll be able to create your own personas. And with that said, Jose, can you lead this presentation on?
Sure. Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. I hope that you will learn something new today. As João already said, I will be talking about proto personas, and we'll teach you how to do it, how to do them. So, First of all, I would like to talk to you a little bit about personas. So, personas, as you might already know, represent the users that use service, a product, or functionality. So when we create them, we can share them across all organization, like artifacts. So you can share with them with all the people in the team or other stakeholders. And the objective for them is to create empathy and a shared understanding of who they are and what they need and what they do. So these personas can influence the products, the service, and the user flows, which can be different from persona to persona, and they can help us to evaluate the service or product or functionality before it's released. So when we can test with representative personas from real people to see if we are going on the right way. Um, Being said that, one of the problems that we have with personas nowadays is that we have um, we need a lot of time to do them. In the past, we had a lot of time because the projects were mainly in waterfall, and now with agile, it becomes more difficult to do the work that is done in a lot of weeks. So today we only have time for 2 weeks to create something new, and it's quicker. We need to give answers quickly and to create personas quickly. So we need to find with personas, we need to find the representative users. We need to find, we need to schedule the interviews with the users. We need to do the interviewing, and the worst or the most time that we need is for analyzing the results and to group the commonalities. So it takes a lot of time to do them. So we have another way to do this, which was presented by Jeff Guelph and other UX gurus, and it's more helpful for the agile world. So we can do this in a quicker way. Um, so what are proto personas? So personas are basically the same as personas, but they are based initially on assumptions. So instead of doing all the work before the research work, like doing the interviews and grouping the similarities and creating the personas, we start with assumptions. So we start with ideas of how of what who the person is, what are their needs, and what are their goals and their frustrations. So they can be created by yourself or by your teams and stakeholders. So you can start initially yourself, and then you can share with the stakeholders and present and adapt and validate those assumptions afterwards. So how can we create them? So if you're doing by yourself, this is an example of a napkin I used to create a persona. So you can do this by yourself by grabbing a napkin or a piece of paper, or if you like to use online tools like Miro or Mural or Figma, you can use them as well to create them. So basically, you divide the section in three. Divide the napkin or the sheet of paper or the drawing that you have in three parts. Sometimes you can have it in four parts. We can do this many ways, but depends on your way of organizing the information. So in this way, we divide in three parts. So the first part, which is the upper left quadrant, holds a sketch of the person, and you have the name and and the role. So as you can see here, you have Rita Hills, which is an avid student, and as you noticed, you have you can be more specific. Instead of just saying a student, you can say an avid student. It gives more emphasis on the role, and it can help you to find extreme cases and find other needs that are more specific to this kind of persona. So this can bring other service and other product opportunities. Um, so this is the upper left corner. Then you can on the right, upper right, you can add the behaviors and actions and some demographic information. Um, so in the demographic part, we rarely in our projects add a lot of data. In product or service design, we care more about the needs, the goals, the behaviors that they have while they're using the functionality or service. Um, and so when you think about demographics, we think about more in a connection with the behavior. So, for example, age might not be important, for example, on a specific persona, but, for example, using a cell phone, for example, she uses a cell phone to take notes, can be something that is more valuable to understand the needs, because using a cell phone brings another set of needs to the product. So it has to be adapted to the app or to the service. Um, so this section holds basically the actions that they do, the main activities, and all this information. Um, the bottom half, it's the most important one, which states the needs, the pain points, and the goals. So we rarely add features in this part. So we want to focus on their real needs and goals. And with them, we can understand and find opportunities to improve or to create a more specific product, more aligned product with the needs of the user. Um, so you can organize this way. In this case, it's three quadrants, but you can use four It depends on your way, but be consistent. And when you try to do the personas, use the same way to present and not like diverging and doing other kinds of quadrants and everything. So try to be more consistent. Um, so you start with yourself, or you can start with your team or with stakeholders, which is the most important one. Basically, you can start this at the beginning of a project when you don't know nothing about the users, and you can start with a workshop or a brainstorming activity, uh, and you can start with by asking who the service or the functionality should be targeting and how that would affect their use. So you start with this basic question to the group, um, and then on the second step they create the list of personas that they start to dig in and add some user segment types like a university professor, avid student, day shift library employee. So you start to create the main personas. You don't need to add like a lot of personas. You just need to focus on the main ones, the most extreme ones. So you can have like 3 4 at the beginning, uh, and then when you go out and validate those assumptions, you will find for sure uh, other personas or other user types, and then you can go back to the board and adapt them. Um, so as I said, you compact that list on 3 or 4 personas, um, and then uh, you ask them to differentiate them by roles and needs. So you'll start to you ask them to do this work by adding the goals and needs and frustrations to every persona. Um, so how can we do this? Normally we separate them in groups. If we have like I don't know, maybe 12 people, you separate them in small groups from 3 4 people and ask them to create each persona as a group. Normally we do this like this, and after they complete the proto personas with the needs and objectives and frustrations and goals, you will ask them when they finish. We bring them back, and we ask them to share each persona, so we can have a discussion on on what is real or more real, and what is more feasible to each persona. So we ask feedback from everyone uh, in the next phase. So after that, after having the work done to the personas, and everyone has agreed on, we share the personas, the proto personas, with the rest of the organization. Um, and maybe we can wait for input from their part to add something new or to change something on each persona. Um, After that, you have to validate this. You have to validate the assumptions. So you can do this firstly by trying to recruit the the target user segments. So the first question that you should ask is, does this proto persona exist? So you will try to find people that represent the user segment, like the avid student or the library employee. So you will try to find those target segments, those personas. Um, so you can try to find those people. Maybe for sure you will find, but sometimes you don't. And if you don't, you need to go back and to the board and try to do another persona, which is more based on the people that you try to find out. Um, so this is the first question that you should ask. Um, the second question that you should answer is, do they have the needs and the goals that we sketch for each one? So you have to we can listen and observe the users to understand if they have those needs and goals, so we can validate them. Maybe maybe we find those are true. Maybe we will add the new ones for sure, new needs, or maybe we find new frustrations. So we don't want to create solutions for problems that don't exist. So we need to find out if the problems are real. Um, and the third question, um, they will value the solution for the problem. So imagine that you have, for example, people that work a lot in Excel sheets, file sheets, and you create a solution for that instead of them using the documents and the Excel files. Um, but maybe they don't use that so often. So maybe you find a problem that they use a lot the Excel files. They use the Excel files, but don't use it often. So maybe it's not, they don't value the solution as much. So uh, it doesn't mean that creating the solution for a problem is valuable for the person, for the user. So you need to understand if this is something that is really valuable in the long run, or if it's something very how do we say, um, that happens a few times. So you have to understand that, because if you start to create a solution for a problem that not happens very often, you will take a lot of time in developing time, and then you will find in the long run that is not used so much. So you have to understand if this is really a big problem, and that's it. So, and the last part after validating this is you have to update your product personas, like the personas. So I see a lot of projects where we start to create the personas and the product personas, and they stay stagnated in time. So when we create a service or a product, the user don't know how to use it at first, but passing time, they so at the beginning they have more needs related to understanding the interface and everything. So when the time passes, uh, they understand the system, and now they want other things. They want quicker ways to do the common tasks. So they have different needs in the long run. So you have to keep updating the product personas. You have to keep talking with the users and trying to understand how they evolve while using the platform, and understanding that we all need different things in different times. So we have to keep updating this personas, and I think that's it basically. So I don't know if you want to talk as a conclusion, but I think it's me, right? Yeah. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
will, first of all, I would like to thank you, Jose, for this presentation. I think it opened our viewers' mind in some kind of way. For me personally, right now it seems easy, and it seems very clear and obvious that you must update your personas, but I didn't thought of it as an important process, as you said. And for me, it cleared my mind on that point, and I want to thank you for that. And also talk to our viewers, if you came to this part and you still have any doubt of what Jose said, you can drop us a comment that we are going to answer right away. And if you have any other thing that you want to talk about, or any other input that you want to make about this presentation, you can always drop us a comment that we are obviously going to read it and take it into consideration. And without further to add, also I will ask you if you can drop us a like and share this masterclass, we will appreciate it, and that's kind of our intention to spread this to the world, to show our expertise like Jose did. And that's it. I hope you liked it, and see you on the next masterclass that will be on next month. Thank you, Jose, and thank you for the
Thank you.
ones at home listening.
Thank you for listening. Bye.